I am AT, alright. I guess the audio's fine, just let me know if it's okay. This is actually quite a... I don't mind these games. Anybody who listens to the show knows that. I didn't know anything about this till yesterday. What I probably will do, this family tree you can see and the ones that are highlighted, they're the ones I've unlocked. What I might do is I'll probably start it brand new and just play probably an hour or so, just so you can see it. I mean, I was going to play Prey, the hour demo, but I don't want to do that on the stream because I actually want to... I'm on the fence about that game, and I want to give it my full attention to actually make a decision whether I'm going to buy that. So I'm just going to save that for a stream. I mean, if I make a decision and people want me to actually do it, then yeah, I'll pop Prey demo on after I've had a first play, probably tomorrow. But I'm going to be offline for the next 48 hours after today because I'm having a bit of a move around, a bit of tech delivered for a special review that I've been given. So it's all changing here, but I'm going to be offline for a bit. 24 hours, 48 hours, I'm not quite sure yet. The decision to stream late on and watch the football was a bit of a shitty decision because that game was goddamn awful. But then again, I find if I stream about this time, if I stream later, like 9 PM onwards, kind of more people get here. I don't know if that's the case. My back is killing me though, guys, I've got to say. And this settee that I've got is shit. Well, no, it ain't, mate, but I like to be different. I like to play different things. I'd playing the same, playing the same games that everybody else is playing. It's kind of similar to what you've just said. It is what it is. I'm guessing, you see, this game to me, streaming this to me this is a game that not many people would pick up. Similar to the one I streamed the other night, the entire way through, the night shift. Nobody would have picked that up. I had half the room leave to go and buy it and play it, and that was kind of the thing. So that's the kind of idea I always aim for. And I always, to be perfectly honest, I actually use these streams more of a chat as well, to the community as well. That's the kind of, I'm not a 100% game streamer. I like to more chat and interact. Wondering, actually, thinking about this, I bet I can't. There's no options to start this game again, I don't think, is there? Probably not. Are you a big Warhammer fan, are you, Para? Do you like that? PC, I take it, yeah, obviously. Is it a latest one then? Is it a big game out? I've never been into Warhammer. Looks like I may have to carry this game on from where I left off, I think. Because I can't see any choices. And basically, I switched this off last night at this point because it got a bit spooky, a bit weird. I played it late at night and I'm not the best nighttime gamer. It's It's a very strange game, this is. And I wanted to show it you from the beginning because the stuff I've played up to now has been really, really clever, but weird. But let's move on. I think you'll kind of get the gist of things as we move on.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Well, I hope you guys can see better than me. Alexa, bedroom 50%.
Okay.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Yeah, brand new this week.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today.
Peaches, tin peaches, can't beat it.
I always expected to be dead.
God, it's
tomorrow.
years since I've had tin peaches.
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Christ, this controller is rumbling like hell. He probably thinks there's some kind of war going on, and it's like probably a train going by.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Basically, the premise of this so far, what I've seen, if you look at the family tree, you are playing Edith, and you arrive at this house in this forest, and as you arrive in it, she starts to tell you about her childhood, and then, as you see from the left-hand side, you go into you find her bedroom, and you look at, you go into Molly's, like you've just seen this change from the future where she's at, the girl talking, to then into this guy's life. You go into Molly's life, and the first one, Molly, is a sister. That is the craziest shit you've ever seen, what you do with that. And I won't give it away, because it's just what the game's about. It's beautiful. And then also, you move through the house, you're finding she's been left the house, all her family's gone. And she tells a story of a family tree, and she's going through it, look, and she talks about Barbara, and then Calvin. Calvin's was amazing. Barbara's was a bit weird. But it's been really good. Now, obviously, I think I'm going through the family tree because she's now 19. And that's what this kind of is. You've zoomed into this guy's life because that's what's happened.
And then one day, everything just...
You see, I love this.
stopped.
Oh, there's no noise.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting.
Tinned fruit.
Or
God, we
maybe
used to
I
have
just
that as
got tired
kids.
of being afraid.
On a Sunday tea time, and we always used to try and tinned fruit, and we always used to feel lucky if you got a cherry in it, because cherries were like...
It's been a week now.
Rare as
The
rocking
longest
horse
in
shit.
30 years.
God, how long has he been in here? Now we're moving.
I'm done waiting.
What's going on the
I
outside?
have to leave. Well, I still can.
Do you know what, Power? I was just thinking the same, mate, when I've been going through this. I think VR would be really good on this. I've got quite a few VR games to get back to, actually, and I might... In fact, when I'm waiting with no TV in the next 48 hours, I could actually still play my VR, couldn't I? Because you don't need a TV. That is actually good thinking.
I know it's out there somewhere.
So I actually could play my VR as long as I leave the PlayStation plugged in. So yeah, that could be a good fallback while I'm waiting to have my room sorted out. Yeah, cool. Plus I could watch... I keep meaning to watch Rogue One in 3D. In fact, I might watch that tonight. I absolutely love that. I'm going to the pictures on Saturday, guys. The cinema. Holy shit. Anyone who listens to my channel regularly knows that I don't get out very often nowadays. And my daughter rang me today.
This is all a mistake.
And she's giving me a hand. She's the one that's helping me tomorrow.
But I need to stop living
He is, mate,
the
but
same
it's
day.
also a bit of new tech coming as well.
Even if it kills me.
I've got a great thing happening in the next few days. I've been... but all will be made clear in the next few days. I can't really talk about it at the minute.
Whatever's out there.
So my brother's coming Saturday morning, he said.
I'm ready for it.
To bang a TV on the wall, and I'm really looking forward to it because I need an extra bit of room. As you guys know, this flat's very small.
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month.
So I'm looking forward to actually tidy, because I don't know about you guys. I know that some of you are probably very, very clean and tidy and have got a bit of OCD, but I let my cable management go to shit very quickly, and I have here. I've only been in here a year. I told you it was a train. Holy shit. Oh, wow. He got wiped out by a train, the poor guy.
Walter died when I was 6.
Oh,
I
shit.
can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Oh, dear. So, yeah, it gives me a chance to actually sort all my cables out. I can move my sound. I think I'm going to do, by the way, opinions of what you guys think. Some of you might not. I know you, Para, might actually have some good thoughts on this. My brother gave me a sound bar when he upgraded last month, and it's a really nice Panasonic with a separate woofer. And this soundbar actually can go on the wall. And I'm just really tempted to stick the soundbar on the wall as well, below my TV, and I'm just wondering what it's like. Has anybody got that set up? I'd be intrigued.
Maybe she was afraid.
Because I'm not moving... Currently my TV in front of me is on a TV stand, and it's very large, and the TV stand's very small.
But if
and
she
it's
never told me
it's really
about
on the
your
edge.
uncle under the house.
So basically,
I can only imagine what else
I'm
she
going to
was
keep the
hiding.
table because that's where I can free up more space by putting all my consoles on it. Because right now, all my consoles aren't on it.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two.
All right, yeah, you've got a really nice setup, haven't you? I remember now.
I thought it was time I heard this.
This soundbar is pretty cool, and I didn't realise until I was getting it out of the box when he gave it me. It's a one long soundbar, as most of them are, on little feet. But this one actually can split into two. So when I do it, I could actually put the small right one below the right side of the telly and the small left one on the left. And I actually might do that instead of leaving just the centre thing. I don't know. We'll have a look. I'll ask my brother. He's the DIY man. I'm shit. I'm absolutely shit at DIY. Couldn't knock 2 screws, 2 nails in a piece of board. I've always been the techie guy of the family, you see, so... Holy shit. So I'm quite looking forward to, one, having a nice setup sorted finally. I'm also going to get some cable. I wish I was making room for a Prusa, mate. That is in time. It is actually going to, you've heard me talk about my coffee tables. I've got 2 small tables. freeing this table in front of me, one of my coffee tables has got all my consoles on it and my VR. That's going to then... And that is, I can put everything on there then in front of me while the TV's on the wall. So that will free up one. And what I'm thinking of doing is put my Star Wars things on that one out the way, which frees up this table over to my left. It's a square one. Might just fit a Prusa on it, by the way,
Maybe
looking at the size.
Just died with me.
But a Prusa's at my price range at the minute. It really is. 800 quid.
But I thought you should know about your family.
You know, I'd love one. You know I love my 3D work. And I just seriously would love one. Maybe one day, who knows? I don't know.
And the history.
There's an 11-week... I actually, Para, just while we're boring people with 3D work, that headphone, that came out so well, I cannot tell you. The quality of that print, white top, black feet, are just stunning. I didn't have to sand it, I didn't have to glue it, I didn't have to do anything. One of the best things I've had off Thingiverse, actually. But I was looking at the other, you know, the Prusa printers. The other, because you can get like, not kind of fakes, I guess. I'll tell you what to look at, Para, if you get a chance. Go to My Mini Factory, look at the front end, and they advertise
Though to be honest,
this really cool printer for $99. And I know sometimes $99 printers are shit. They're on Kickstarter. It's like really rubbish. But I watched the videos and stuff, and that one looks fantastic.
I think people in these stories believed them.
If you have a look at it, I'd like your thoughts on it. Just have a quick look at it. But Prusa is my dream. I just really want one badly, but 800 quid, 11-week turnaround as well. Did you see the picture that Prusa put up on Twitter the other day, where they're moving into the new factory? I don't know if I'm going the right way here. Probably not, but there is a light. Oh, it's taking me back there though. Now let's try out there for a minute. There is no run, by the way. This is the pace. You know what the walking simulators are like. But I don't mind this. It's really nice and easy playable, and it's got an intriguing story, this has. And to be honest, guys, I'm not in the mood today to be playing anything a bit manic. This is just about my chill range for tonight. But yeah, go and check that printer on My Mini Factory. I'm really intrigued. And I want to know what that... I meant to measure the build plate on it. Because I'll be honest...
Imagination and stubbornness and madness.
I'm not too bothered about a heated bed. Because I don't think I'd print in ABS anyway. I've printed in ABS before and it's got just more ball ache. Yeah, I think that's the one, yeah. $99, and you can order it in Europe. I think it works out at about 120 quid in Europe. I just like the look of it. But I want to know what the build plate size is. I didn't do any measurements on it. I meant to measure it. Because my current printer's got a build size of 5.9 by 5.9.
I think we've been surrounded by...
You see, I've never had trouble with my PLA. I don't mind printing in PLA. You know I don't. I've done it all for the last 18 months. ABS, I honestly don't think I'd print, because I know what a ball ache it is. I've read countless places that heated beds cause more hassle than they're worth. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I had a Prusa, I would use it and it'd be great. But it wouldn't bother me not having a heated bed, is what I kind of think.
May be more uncomfortable than the human one.
120 by 120 by 130. What's that in inches? I'm shit with conversion. Oh my god, look at the sad pets. I hate Pet Cemeteries. I think they're really like morbid but great in a kind of funny way. That is mad.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Looking at the spec, your current printer is probably a little better. Really? On what context? Why do you say that? You mean size-wise, bed size? This is a cute little cemetery as well.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea.
See, we don't know why this girl's got come back to her
My mom was
house
always
either.
trying
That's
to
the
move on,
mystery.
But for Edie, the past never went away.
And I think this family came from Denmark, I think, as immigrants back in the
She
day.
could see it poking out of the water at low
What time are we
tide.
using this?
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
What's this game called, guys? The actual thing. Some Edith something. Somebody will give you the title. 4x5x5. The layer height is 103. No heated bed. Ah, it's right then. Yeah. Edith Finch. Yeah, dear, it is, mate. Yeah. Yeah, so it is a smaller bed, and I would only get another printer with a bigger bed than mine. I need a bigger bed, hence the peruser. So what am I supposed to do here then? Is that it? That's it. What remains of Edith Finch? So what do I do now then? Surely don't walk all the way back. Do I? Well, it's not letting me do that, boys, so that bit of... I can't walk off the cliff, can I? No. So I have got to walk back. Oh, the house is there,
was
though.
always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
I think all the family are dead.
Her dad had been pretty strict.
And without giving this story away so far, she tells you the story of certain things that have happened to her family.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did.
Like now.
I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Looks a beautiful place, though. Spooky.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along.
I've been screwed, by the way, today by customs, which is a real pain in the ass because you guys know I've got a few items coming for unboxings from China, and China you never get screwed for charges. And I got screwed today, £16 for some bastard custom charges by DHL, and I've actually raised a complaint with the company that sent me the item. And what's the ball ache about it, by the way? The complete ball ache is I was going to actually order this item from AliExpress that I use a lot of because they've got it's great if you've used AliExpress. So I actually didn't bother. I went to the official site of the official thing that I've ordered, thinking, oh, I'll get a better deal, and sure enough, it was a bit fucking cheaper. But guess what?
I was 22 weeks pregnant.
They've screwed me now. Screwed me now for 16 quid charges. I must admit though, I've dealt with DHL from China a lot because I get Lepin, or I had quite a couple of Lepin fake Star Wars Lego for anybody who's not sure what that is. And they've not been bad because it's the one that from China they do free normally, and that's what pisses me off. Because I knew if I'd have gone with AliExpress for the same item, by the way, which ain't cheap in the first bloody place, I would have got it delivered free. But no. Been screwed, and I've wrote to them. I don't think anything will come of it because they're a really Chinese company, so I doubt they're going to do anything. But what I'm annoyed with, the official site mentions no charges at all. It just basically tells you. So we've now found another family member, by the way. This is how it works, this game, and then you pick a letter up and then you go into their story. It's pretty cool. A couple of them's been really, really good.
Dawn, I promise.
Now. I like
I'll never
it.
forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are going to last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Quite looking forward to the items I've got coming in the next 3 or 4 weeks. I've got some really good unboxings and reviews coming up. Can't wait, actually. And of course, I actually... oh no, shit, what a shit photo. Now I know I've got to take a photo.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
So yeah, and I also
I'm not always gonna be here, Don.
got paid for YouTube again,
You want to survive.
which was a shock on Monday. I logged into my bank account
Who else thought he
and
was gonna be fine?
I'd found my second ever payment on YouTube, which was mad.
Dad, you're always
It took 4 years to get my first and about 8 months to get my second.
To tell you the truth, I haven't been out here.
So I'm
20
actually
years.
getting a little bit better as it goes along.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire.
I bet you that these photos have had some weird achievements
Found an
in
old
this.
logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
And I bet you certain
I bet if I could
pictures.
remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
I bet you certain pictures are
Before you
connected.
take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Oh my god, he's making us shoot that deer. You can't do that. He's so wrong.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself
Oh
squared
god,
up.
that was the
Great
set-
shot, Don!
Oh, that is so awful. What a horrible picture.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Oh, that's weird. I'm controlling him. Oh, there's a timer on the camera because it's buzzing.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Don.
Oh my
Just
god.
focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Holy shit. These people have died in horrible ways. Oh,
Of
wow.
all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
They're so awful.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
You always find weird and wonderful ways of getting out or through the house. Yeah, they are. This family is cursed. Some of the things that you've gone through is shocking.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
It's been getting really good reviews, though, if I'm not mistaken. Oh Christ, we're in a child's bedroom. No, it's not going to be gruesome, is it?
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
That's weird. That was weird. Oh god, I am the frog. I am actually the frog.
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to...
Holy shit.
Hold on, sweetie.
Please tell me this kid's not going to fucking drown in this bath.
Hello?
Please.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
What his world was like.
Yeah, I must admit, I mean, I'm not going to talk about it in the stream a lot, but a lot of people the feedback from the show this afternoon's been immense, to be fair. What the hell am I supposed to do?
Whatever it was, he saw. Sure made him happy.
Holy shit, this is crazy as. This is really difficult to control. Really like inverted and weird shit, and I bet I'm supposed to get on that shelf, and if I am, that's going to be really difficult.
I know how.
Oh no, it's not. That was fluky. You just know this kid's going to die in this bath.
That I worried about a baby being too happy.
I'm going to knock all them letters off because I've got a feeling it'll be an achievement. If I get a chance. Oh shit, I'm not going to get a chance.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
This kid is going to die, I'm telling you.
Oh, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Oh, I so want to... Alright, don't give any spoilers to me if you do actually know any more, because this is my first playthrough. I told you, I knew it were a trophy.
I wish he could have told us.
Uh-oh.
About the world he saw.
Shit, this family is so cursed, it's not even funny. Oh, wow.
About Gregory.
Oh my god, you got to be shitting me.
About everything.
This is so mad.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you.
That is so surreal and awful.
Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Wow. How many more have I got left? I can't have that many more. 1, 2, 3 I think I've got left. So I could actually finish this then. On the stream.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea.
The mechanics are really cool.
Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard. Before the day my brother
And some of the
said
things you get to do in
teenage
this has
disregard,
been really
he'd be
good.
dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
to
father
love
made
kite
them come,
flying
of course,
when I was a
but
kid.
Gus stood far apart, just flew
We had
his
an
kite and
amazing
bottled up
kite when
the
I was
storm
younger.
inside his heart.
Massive. My dad tied 3 giant giant strings to it, and it went miles in the air.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one
It is. It's a gorgeous game.
Nature might destroy
So
the
I like,
timber
like I say, I
that
like
they
these types of games. Just different from all the usual crazy shit.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father
I'll tell you what's
said
going to
was,
happen now. I
"Make
bet
the
lightning
music
strikes
louder."
that tent and burns the fucking thing down. Oh, we're still. What the hell? Holy shit.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Yeah, no problem, mate. Surprised it's not on the Xbox. I think
She
they've
never
released
talked
all the
about
others,
it.
haven't they?
Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus. My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. but it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
What do you mean by later, Matt? You mean later tonight? I mean, it's 20 to 11 now. I don't get what you mean, later. You mean later than now?
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Oh, this is cool. It's going to be a flip book, isn't it? That's good. A 24-hour stream. I mean, I could do a long stream, but even me, who games crazy amount of hours, I don't think I could sit and just play games for that extended period of time. I think everybody needs a break. I mean, to be honest, I mean, I'm a really shit sleeper anyway, as any regular listeners know. I never thought of... I'm often gaming privately on my own for the show at like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and it never dawns on me to stream then, actually. Never has done. It's a bit stupid, because I forget we've got USA listeners. So yeah, it's probably something I should actually think about one night, if I have a shit night and I'm gaming. So next time I am, yeah, I'll give it a try. I think it sounds quite a cool idea.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
She keeps talking about the house in a way that something's weird that's happened. Shit, should have gone the other way. Sod's law. So yeah, I'm intrigued now, because the story's been really good. I think I've been playing this totally, 46 minutes tonight, and it was about the same time last night, so you're looking about 2-3 hours so far. That's where I came from into this child here.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
This place is awesome.
After he graduated, he just spent
Can you imagine this being real?
Until Mom got him a job at the Cannery.
Does anybody know if this has got a platinum trophy? If you can check, that would be interesting. Because it has been handing trophies out. Surely can't have a...
Lewis's room smelled
wow.
very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time.
Mate, a lot of men have
together,
that same
but he was
problem, that
surprisingly
game
bad
late at
them.
night. They wait till
He
the
died a
missus
lot.
or everybody's in bed. That's a cool console, isn't it? What's it called? Wonderland? What? Wonderland? It's a Wonderland Turbo. That's what we want, boys. We want the Wonderland Turbo. Proper gaming console. I wonder if we'd have console wars and fanboys with the Wonderland. What do you reckon?
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist,
My heating in this
I can
flat
understand your
is
desire
doing my
for an
head in.
explanation.
I've got
As
the
I see it, the
thermostat
trouble
turned
began in
completely
January,
off, and
shortly
yet
after
it's
we
like a
convinced
fucking
your
oven
son
in
to
here.
seek treatment for substance
It's doing
abuse.
my head in.
Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
I wonder why he's got blood on his hands.
He kept working at the Cannery. But he withdrew part of himself.
Edith, whatever
In
happened to
seconds, I saw
Edith,
the same
somebody,
behaviour.
Edith Finch.
His mind began to wander.
No plat, 2 gold, 1 silver, 6 bronze. Thanks, Alan. Cheers. Oh my god, I've just realised I'm actually walking with that guy on
I
that
asked him
other
to
thing.
describe it.
Do you think I can do rub your belly and
He said he
pat your
started
head?
small.
Holy
Imagining a
shit, this is
labyrinth,
difficult.
he'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names.
This is so clever, this game.
He knew it was all in his head.
What city game's that, Dan?
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
I don't know why I'm still cutting these fishes' heads off while I'm playing the other part, but I'm doing okay,
But he found
actually.
something more.
This is
I worried about him then.
fantastic. Shouldn't do. That's spooky when that happens. Oh, Man City, yeah, I thought you meant an actual game. It was, mate, and I actually put the stream off to bloody to watch it, and it was absolutely shit, wasn't it?
Daydreaming at the Cannery. I spoke with his boss.
How clever's this? Even though I'm stuck now. Oh, I think I've got to go round. Hi, David. Tell you what, let me stop cutting fish and try and figure this shit out.
But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
This is mad, Arthur. This is really intriguing. Right hand, left hand, and trying to concentrate.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very
Where
promising.
people get their ideas for games.
He told me
This
he'd
is
made a
like
new
off
friend.
the charts, this is. It's got a dog now.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Token. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
It's mad, isn't it? But this is what's been cool about this game so far. The different stories of the
songs for them
family
to play.
have been just so intriguing and different. Without trying to spoil it, if anybody's interested in it, I'd highly recommend this. It's okay. It's 15 quid, I think. There's a comic book story in one of them, and it was fantastically done, superbly done.
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the Cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. so he could do whatever he wished.
Whatever happened to Edith Finch? And if you've joined it just now,
He held
David,
an election
it's
up
completely... This is just one tiny, tiny point of
And he won.
a weird and wonderful game.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
No, it's just intriguing. Let me... Yeah, you can stop... Right, to do the... It's like rubbing your belly, patting your head. The left stick's controlling the little guy in the corner, while the right hand was grabbing the fish and chopping them. There, look, I'm grabbing it with my right hand, and over we go, and then push forward. Over, over, over. But how cool is this?
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
Some of the things you've done in this game have been really intriguing. It's about a girl, young girl. I'll show you the family tree in a minute.
Until one day he
called
forgot
Edith
to go home
Finch,
from
who
the
at
camp.
19 she was left a family home, and the
Even
family's
as
had
his
some
mother
like
pleaded with
horrific
him,
deaths, and she's trying to
Heart
find
of
out
Louis kept
what
sailing on.
has happened.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
That was intriguing.
The queen was on her own quest for...
Because he worked in a cannery, and this is his day. He was daydreaming. This thing you're
Radiant
watching
rainbows.
is daydreaming. So he's doing his mundane job of cannery, but the stuff in the background is him daydreaming.
He followed the sound of her...
But like I say, it's just one tiny part of this crazy game.
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Getting behind with my fish, I need to hurry up.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
This is just crazy, but so clever.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
No way. Wonder if there's an achievement for actually how many fish that you chop.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Oh, wow.
He began to forget the world we know.
He's going mad, I think. He's going mad.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
God, what a shit awful place. And I bet it smells absolutely divine.
he began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
It is, it's gorgeous, it's lovely. Not quite sure what I've got to do here though. I've never got stuck in the game, it's been always pretty straightforward. Oh no, holy shit.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
What was the writer on, developer on, when he wrote this game, when he made this game?
Who'd insisted on inviting him.
How many of you guys getting Prey? Have you played the demo yet? I'm going to play it tomorrow, actually, I think, before I change all my room around.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Oh, she looks a big gal. So, yeah, anybody getting Prey or played the demo? I'm looking forward to trying that. If anybody has played the Prey demo today, can you just answer me one simple question? No spoilers or anything, but is it... Oh, no. Is it a horror game? Is it scary? Yeah, but the first thing though, Alan, there's a free demo online, mate. An hour, you can play an hour of it. The first hour of the game. Highly recommended, I've heard. What a crazy ass thing that was. Holy shit. Now I shall open the family tree, but look, we're getting towards the end.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
We've got one left, I think. Yeah, it's big, massive news, mate. It's in the store now. Play the first hour from the beginning. That'll make your mind up 100%.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Evening, Josh.
I wish we'd stayed.
Thank you very much.
But I understand why we left.
It was a very impromptu version of the Rambler, by the way. I think a lot of people have commented. I don't want to go too deep into it. I mean, it's there for you to listen to. But me and Ricky actually pulled that off in Ricky's lunch hour. I think it's made by the same people, Dan. I'm not 100% sure. It might be. But yeah, we just basically wanted to go on because I think we both wanted to vent a little bit. And we probably went overboard a bit. But I think, judging by the feedback I've got, it's been massively positive. A lot of people have actually said the words,
but it had to end.
It's about time things were said like that. So that kind of helps you as well. I finished Firewatch, David. Yeah, mate. Brilliant game. Superb game. I loved it. Like I said earlier in the stream, I love things like this. I think it's just, I think it's different. It's not mindless shit, is it? It's just a nice, relaxing evening. It's got beautiful things, like you say. This is Edith Finch, so you are the woman now. So we're maybe getting towards the end.
Day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
Yeah, mate, we're both thinking that. I think Ricky has actually left the group, and I think I've turned off notifications.
You know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's
like
just
we kind of addressed, you know, it's a small
Edith,
percentage
you're excused.
that are the loudest, and that simply is. You tried 3D Blu-ray on PS4. Think Rogue One, but price. I've got Rogue One. I'm actually going to try it tonight when I finish streaming, and mate, it does, David, it does cause hassle, mate. Like we kept saying on the Rambler this morning, you know, been doing this 10, 11 years now, and it's like, it's just, I don't need to be, I'm 51 years old. And, you know, you've got grown men arguing over a piece of plastic, and at the crux of it all, and the bottom line, we all play games irrespective of what it's on or where it's at. Just for Christ's sake, go and play the games. Has this whole game lasted an hour? No, I played about an hour last night as well. But it's worth it. It's really been intriguing. It's getting very good reviews, by the way. And I must admit, so far, I've really enjoyed it. Going back to the PSVR question, I've got Rogue One. I'll put a thing, I don't know if you caught it on the show when I first reviewed a PSVR title on Blu-ray. I used to own a 3D TV back in the day when everybody thought they were going to be the bollocks, but turned out to be the Betamax shit again. And I thought they was really intriguing. At that time, I'd never watched a cinema 3D movie. Didn't appeal to me. So I only ever saw my first 3D movie at the cinema about 8 months ago with my brother. Want to see one of the Star Wars ones, the previous one. And I actually came out of it, and I turned to my brother in the car and looked at him, and he looked at me. He says, "Oh, did you enjoy the film?" I says, "Yeah, awesome film." I says, "But can I ask a question?" Because he goes to the pictures regular with his wife. I said, "Did you see any 3D in that movie?" And he laughed, and he says, "Well, I was thinking the same." And in that film, only one scene in that entire film got 3D effects, and it was when the big dark Death Destroyer pointed nose thing came out on the screen, and I actually thought, oh wow, that's pretty cool. That was it. It was fuck all out after that. So fast forward, I've now got that film, Force Awakens, in 3D, and I put it on. It was my first try of it. No, I tell a lie. iRobot was my first foray into the 3D PSVR, and I'm going to put this to you quite simply. Cinema 3, and I've seen a couple of films now in 3D. Cinema 3D, I would put, when you're watching the entire movie, I would put a percentage of 3D effects that you get a feeling of. Anything ranging from between 20% to 40-50% effects that you see. The rest of it to me just looks pretty normal. TV 3D, when you had TV, and I played games in 3D on the PlayStation, and I had TV, I watched Augusta Masters in 3D. Sky once filmed that in 3D one year. That was truly remarkable. So I would put TV 3D ranging between 60%, 70% of effects. Pretty cool for your home market. PSVR, Blu-ray 3D, seriously, Rogue One, I was absolutely gobsmacked. It is fucking stunning. 98% full 3D effect. From the moment that the scene opens and BB-8 is on the screen, BB-8 is sat on your lap. It is remarkable. And to be honest, I haven't looked at Rogue One, but I am going to this evening. I fancy that tonight. I'm not tired. I might do it after this stream, actually. But yeah, holy shit, guys. If you get a chance to see it, you must see it. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because it's kind of disappointing, because 3D, as we all know now, is a dying trend. It's dying on its arse, which is a shame. Sky have pulled it. There's fuck all on there about it. Although Blu-rays are being sold, and quite cheaply, by the way. I've seen Blu-ray 3Ds available on Amazon. Jurassic World was £3. £3.50 last week, so there's a good market for it, so you could pick some cheap movies up if you wanted to. And I fully intend to grab a couple, actually. But to be honest, I've moved on with the movie tech. I'm really back into my movies again like I used to back in the day with DVDs. I'm obviously moving on to the 4K market, having a 4K TV. And I love that aspect of it. I've got a really decent Blu-ray player, 4K player, and it's just getting back to how I used to be when I was first married, when I was happiest. And I just love my movies. It was my escape time. But PSVR movies, and the question that everybody also asks, what's the quality like? Now, we all know, we're not going to lie, and everybody knows it because it's the quality of the lenses in the PSVR unit. The actual gaming can be at sometimes pretty poor, nothing outstanding, because it is lower resolution. I haven't seen a single reviewer or person that's put PSVR on the head after the 2.5 update it got, after the 4.5 PS4 update we got. When that came and it put the Blu-rays in, I can't explain it to you. The actual thing I joked about privately, I said that somebody's come in overnight and changed my PSVR headset for 2.0 version, and it's got new lenses in. Because the quality of the picture, and let me tell you now, as I say, I'm a big movie fan. I watch a lot of movies. If the movie quality was shit, I wouldn't watch it. The movie quality was absolutely fine. I would put it on par to about 720p, which is adequate considering the unit and what it is. But it just is fantastic experience. And like I say, if you get a chance and you like your 3D movies, then it is the way it's the way to do it. I love the way you've moved about in this house and got into all the...
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning.
Oh,
okay?
wow. I'll tell you something now, Dan, shall I? And I'll have a little bet with you now. I want you to put that PSVR on your head tomorrow and play something, and I'll bet you any money you put it on and think, shit, this is still fantastic. It's one of them things I put on par like the Vita. The Vita was something you very rarely picked up, but every time you did, you thought, shit, this is fucking fantastic. If I get time, MK, I've got to say, mate, I'm a very busy person. I've got my own podcast, own channel, and I very rarely do that kind of thing, but I may do if I get a chance.
In an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
You've got to wear your glasses, mate. You really have. A funny thing, actually, with glasses, I wear glasses. I'm short-sighted. No problem, mate. Thanks for subscribing. I wear glasses, and I actually foolishly thought, because I'm short-sighted, which means you can see things clear, I can actually take my glasses off and read. But far away, I can't see. If I took my glasses off now, that TV would be fucking... I couldn't see it. Couldn't read anything. Blind as a bat. I don't like turning round. When you say turning round, don't say turning fucking round. Don't like spooky shit. So, the thing I thought to myself, logically, with...
For a while, I wondered.
I could take my glasses off in the VR, thinking, sure, you know, the lenses are here, whatever. Took them off, couldn't see a fucking thing. So, no, it doesn't work like that. Henage, no, mate, I think I've said earlier, I didn't want to talk about much of the Rambler show. It is what it is. It is there. The point in question about that show was quite simply, I think me and Ricky had finally had enough and just wanted to vent, really. We did it in his lunch hour, and we just wanted to vent. And a lot of feedback's come back so far, and everybody agreed with it 100%, and people have said things needed to be said, and have said we think we hit it spot on. So as for sacking it off, now, you know me, I couldn't actually survive probably without Cranky Gamers. And I've said, and when I actually say the thing, when I say it keeps me alive, I ain't fucking lying.
That night, a lot of things
I've got very few things in my life. I've got no partner. I go out very rarely. Gaming is my life. I've done it for 10 years on YouTube and on iTunes. I couldn't survive without it, quite simply, and I don't mind admitting it. It's sad, but it is what it fucking is.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
But I will tell you, Ricky was 100% when we mentioned in the show last week. When Ricky said, last week when he's been off a few weeks, I seriously had to convince him to stay. He'd had enough. And it kind of was...
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
It kind of was the thing where he's got a really hectic family life, as you guys know.
She was already gone.
And then all the shit that we get on the show and stuff. And we can't reiterate enough, guys. You know when we was talking about on the Rambler this morning, saying basic things like... I used to love doing this in the car. Aeroplane.
We both tried to make the best of it.
And we basically, you know... I've lost my train of thought now, thinking about the game.
A few years went by.
Just kind of...
My mom didn't like to talk about it.
we just had enough this morning, and Ricky's a very... And let me tell you, Ricky is...
She started getting sick a lot.
Cheers, Dan. I appreciate it, mate. I always appreciate it.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, and actually, the thing that I actually talk about...
She got better for a while.
The actual thing I talk about slightly, I've got a really good thing that's happened to me this week. I've been accepted to do some really important reviews, and I've got some really good stuff coming. And like I said, and I was really being honest when I said, you know, I could be moving in a whole new direction if this comes off. I'm not sure how it's going to go. But a couple of people have told me that I've told privately, kind of say you deserve it. You know, you've put 11 years in and it's really good, something good's happening. I don't know where it's heading. It might be just a one-off, but it's a real cracking thing. So stay tuned. That's what all the moving is, and me doing all my room tomorrow is I've got something arriving tomorrow.
What we can do is try to open our eyes.
So yeah, it's...
And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
But I don't lie when I say it keeps me going. I've nothing else now in my life. I very rarely get out. I don't see people. I actually see Cranky Gamers listeners have actually been up to have a chat and a coffee, which has been really great.
And tell you all these stories myself.
But as sad as it is, guys,
But I guess if you're reading this now...
I reckon this is she's being born here.
Things didn't work out that way.
Let's just watch the end and we'll have a chat after.
This is where your story begins.
Yeah, that's
their
baby.
I won't be there to see it.
Oh my
God,
God,
a lot to ask,
I've just gone cold.
But I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone.
I've just got
I
goosebumps.
want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all.
Holy shit.
Good luck.
That was so cool. Oh my God, that was awesome. That was a really cool ending. I love games like that. Fucking brilliant. Giant Sparrow, it's the people that made the famous one that I... Oh, that's nice, having a picture of people that's passed away. I bet this is the developers' family and friends that have passed away. Or it's them as kids. I love shit. That was a really well-made game again. Escape to the Rapture. Everybody's going to the Rapture, weren't it? I think Giant Sparrow made that. It was deep. That was a fantastic ending, and I think that's worth the money. Obviously, you guys have seen the ending, kind of spoils it for you guys, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. I really did. I like that. Different again. Henny, that's the thing. Moaners complain about the podcast, but it continues to listen and contribute. So you must. Thing is, mate, as we've always said, there's a few things that we always say and are quite funny. And the people that piss and moan and complain most and cause disruption and things like that, why do they still listen? That I just tell me, because I've been doing this nearly 11 years and I can't fucking work that out now. You know, the real big haters that have said some really nasty shit. Why listen? Just piss off and listen to something else. It just beggars belief to me. It really does. I'll have an impromptu half-hour chat with you guys if you've got questions or anything. I don't mind staying on for half an hour. I've got fuck all to do after. Like I say, very sad and lonely life I lead. Oh, I've just got a silver. I'd have thought that were a platinum if somebody wouldn't have mentioned it earlier. Don't give the moaners any more attention. No, I know, mate, but I'm going to tell you something, David, and this is the point, mate. When we do things like we did this morning, and it needs addressing, I'm a very strong-minded person, as you know. I'm from a working-class mining area. My dad was a miner for 40 years of his life. Killed him in the end, sadly, but that was what it is. And I've always been taught you speak your mind. Fuck it. Say what you want. I just am that kind of person, but I also want to say this to you. And some people might find this hard to believe. I am one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. If you are friendly to me and take me for what I am, don't see anything around me like the shit life, my situation or what I'm in, take me for me. I'm one of the friendliest, nicest people you will ever meet. And that's being really down to earth. And that's why I'm always honest. I always speak my mind. So when we come to the moaners and things like that, I'd love to see them try and do a podcast for 11 weeks. Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't like blowing my own trumpet, but it is. I've missed 6 shows. In October, it will be 11 years. 6 shows, 2 marriages, 2 divorces, 2 surgeries. Bang. That are the... and I want you to put that into context. And that's kind of one thing. And I don't like blowing my own trumpet. It is what it is. It's dedication, I guess. It's something I like doing. But when people piss and moan, I said this privately to a few people today who's got in touch with me, that I don't think they realise that they are affecting a human being at the end of it. And one, in my situation right now, that it is a delicate place, delicate situation. I've had some shit times over the last 18 months, but I've pulled through it. I'm trying. I joined the We Are Gamers group and cringed at what I read. Matt, I do want to say something about this because I've had a lot of people not moaning at me, but getting back to me. What I think they did, they've added people to that group and allowed it automatically. But if you want, let me just put one thing into context about what happened with that group. Everybody's entitled to do what the fuck they want. Everybody's got a free will. But I'll just put one thing into context and then you'll kind of like probably figure it out. Everybody got an invite except one person. Who do you think that would be? That's me. So what does that tell you? Do you know what I mean? Everybody. And what people have got back to me, and I said, listen, it's nothing to do with me. You need to go on. The replay a story option is now ready. Oh, I might just jump in there for a minute. Only you can do any story. I ought to show you some of the weird ones at the beginning, actually. I don't think they do realise that they're affecting real people at the other end of it. And yeah, people complained to me this morning saying, why am I in this group? And I said, listen, you need to bring it up with them. They are inviting people in themselves and allowing them to be attached to the group. My personal thoughts, I think that's very wrong. I don't know whether that's a fault of the system or whether it's set up, but I just think that's extremely wrong. And I've had a lot of complaints this morning tying us with it because all they did for the first day is bombard our site with the link to it. Again, I think that's highly out of order. I've always had a policy on this site, always have done, and I think it stands in good stead. You're here for our show. Do not advertise other shows. Everybody's not stupid. Everybody's not thick. They know the shows exist. I know they exist. But I also know it's not quite right to plug other people's shows on another one. And Ricky made a good point off air to me this morning. He said he's subscribed to quite a good few groups and things on Facebook, but he never would think of going on there and posting, hey guys, come and listen to Cranky Gamers. because he knows and understands that's just the way the world works. So yeah, as for that automatic joining, guys, you need to go and raise it with them. You need to go and post on their site and say, look, I didn't ask to be here. You've invited me and accepted it. I think that's very wrong. That's just my opinion. It is, Matt, as we say, a big thing. And I touched on it on the Rambler this morning a lot, and that's why we were kind of venting. It's grown men pissing and moaning about a piece of plastic. And I find it ironic, and I know I shouldn't say this, but this is my personal views. I find it ironic that it's called We Are Gamers, and yet some people on that site have got one console. Which is ironically what kicked all this off was having a dig at me, apparently, for being very one-sided. Everybody who's listened to this show for the last 10 years knows, if they've got an ounce of brains on them, knows that I actually was accused. And this is what I'll tell you in all this shit, right? The biggest thing in all this that makes me cry with laughing. For the first 5 years of this podcast, I was given dogs abuse. I was given death threats because I was an Xbox 360 fanboy. But I want to just put something out to you. I'm now allegiance with PlayStation because right now, doesn't take a fucking genius to work out. As a gamer, it's the best place to buy games at the minute. Come November, come 6 months after that, Scorpio will probably be the place to go. And guess what? I'm a gamer, so I'll be playing the fucking thing because that's what I want to do. I don't want to lay my life in allegiance to one thing. I am a gamer. So in the 10 years of my show, I've gone from being accused of a 360 fanboy with death threats to where we are the last 48 hours, to splinter groups trying to rip the groups apart and accusing me of being very biased towards one console. Go on. How the fuck does that work? Tell me. Because I have been doing it a long time and it baffles the shit out of me. Funniest thing they had saying out was wrong people were banned in CG UK and there would be no bannings in the group. Let me just tell you something about that. And I had it, this was brought up a few weeks ago. Somebody came on the site, and I can't remember who it was, and I think it was a person that got banned. And I'm going to tell you something now. There's been about 6 bannings on our site, and anybody who knows this, they've been banned for probably one reason or two. Personal attacks, I do not take any of that anymore, whether it's towards me, whether it's towards the guys, or whether it's towards anybody on the group. You attack somebody, you're gone. You've no excuse, there's no excuse for it. You're there to talk about video games, or you're supposed to be there to talk about video games. So any bannings have never been taken for personal reasons, it's for what they are posting. So when they're saying there's no bannings, this was brought up a few weeks ago when somebody posted something else about another show and said, this place has never banned anybody while I've been on the group. And I actually said, I can't remember if I posted it or said it privately, but I'll tell you this. There is not a podcast or show on this planet that has not had to deal with trolls and bannings. And if you've never seen them ban anybody, it's probably because they're doing it before you get to see any shit that's posted. There isn't a Facebook post or a social media site in this world that has not had shit written about it by somebody or other. So please don't think for one fucking second that nothing happens. And I'll just give you a funny scenario. The group that splintered off, apparently you've just said there will be no bannings on the group. So they want to just let anarchy rule, let people be able to come on a website and piss and moan, attack people personally for reasons that they've got no business in. So that's fine. You're okay with leaving that on there, are you? Because if you are, wow. But I'll just put a scenario to it. It's going to take one person on that group, maybe a week, maybe a day, maybe a month, maybe 6. One person's going to go on that group and disagree with somebody. Do you know why? Because gamers are what they are. They're passionate and they have to moan. We've seen it all these years. What's going to happen on that group? They're going to go on it. One person's going to go, wait a minute, I don't agree with that. Oh no, PlayStation's better than Xbox, and it's just going to go bang. Right, how ironic is that then? Seriously, that is laughable. Laughable. It's took them a day to go against this so-called we're not banning anybody policy. fucking laughable. So if that group was made to let people say what they feel, then you've just literally destroyed that group in half a day. You've banned somebody for coming on there and defending what you are opposite to. And by being opposite, the tag of We Are Gamers is completely hypocritical. It is laughable, but you know what, in the whole fucking mix of things, it's grown-ass men. It's grown fucking people. I told you the story that day when I was in the taxi, and it kind of made... I think if you'd have got a camera on me, I just quietly looked out the window of the taxi and smiled, and it kind of brought things home to me really big. And it was the day when I come back from me being reported by some nasty person on Facebook, The Awesome Place, and actually tried to get me prosecuted and jailed, making out I make thousands of pounds doing what I'm doing, and I should report it. At the time, I had 3 pence in one bank account and I think £12 in my other one, which had got to last me 2 weeks, okay? So, what gets me, I was in the taxi and there was an old gentleman driving that taxi. Apparently he was telling me he'd been driving that taxi for 30 years or more. It's been his life. And he's obviously got loads of stories to tell. And he pops in and just basically says, as they do, "Have you had a good day, mate?" And I actually was on my way back, and you can imagine what kind of mood I was in. Seething. Absolutely seething. And I told him the story. I wanted to vent. I'd got nobody to talk to. I'd have nobody to talk to when I got home, so I wanted to talk to somebody, and he just was a really nice guy. And I told him the story on the trip home. And I told him and mentioned I'd been reported, and he kind of said, "Wow, that's a bit..." He says, "I don't get all this Facebook." I says, "No, not a lot of people do, mate, in generations." And then I says, and the main thing I had to report and tell the people at this place I'd just been that I'd actually received death threats in the time that I'd been doing it. And the guy that was doing the filing and actually writing all this down for proof, he actually stopped doing what he was doing, and he was totally shocked. He looked at me and couldn't believe it, the actual guy. And he says, "Are you being serious?" I says, "Yeah, of course I'm being serious. Why wouldn't I be?" And I told the old guy in the taxi. And at the end of the conversation, he said to me, and we just pulled up outside my flat, and it was really perfect timing. And he leant over to take my money, and he says, "Well, what was it all about? What did it kick off about?" And I looked at him and smiled, and I said, "About video game consoles." His face was one of the most amazing things I think I'd ever seen in my life. He looked at me, he paused, and he said, "You what?" I says, "Video game consoles." He says, "You've been getting death threats and reported on a place that talks about video games." I says, "Yeah." And he says, I don't know what to say, mate. He says, "I've been doing this job 30 years. He says, "What you've just told me has been one of the most crazy things I think I've ever heard in that time." And I said to him at the end before I got the taxi, I says, "Do you want me to tell you what's even more amazing?" He says, "What?" I says, "The average age of that group that they're in," I says, "I would say it's about 35 to 40. And he looked at me again, he says, "What, years old?" I says, "Yep." He says, "Christ almighty," he says, "what is the word?" And that just summed it all up for me. But going back to the thing when people say, "Look, ignore it and stuff," it's very hard to ignore, guys. I am a human being. Ricky's a human being. Ricky's had some really bad shit comments he gets. And I think he vented this morning. I think he's been wanting to say that kind of thing for a long time. He's had really bad shit before. And people actually having a proper, personal, shitty go at him for spending money. His money. That just blows my mind. And like I said this week on the Rambler, I've spent a really lot of money this week, and every penny of it has gone towards this. And I think that also got the point where this is why I went on, we did a Rambler, and we both felt we needed to speak and say something. And I don't know how these guys feel, or whether they feel or they regret doing it. Probably not. They probably don't. But whether it was done in jest, whether it was done as a joke to start and it spiraled, I don't know. Again, it's not for me to say. But when Ricky's doing things and buying stuff and it's for the show, and then I spent a really crazy amount of money, every last penny was for the show. And then we have to get this thing that's gone off in the last 48 hours. And it just makes me sit back and think, what... And I've said this a lot on the show. Do people, when they post this kind of stuff or bring this kind of stuff forward, do they actually think before they press the button? Because you know I've got a big thing on the show and I say to you guys, look, let's try and keep the Facebook group nice. You're there to talk about your passion, your love. We all love playing video games. We love new games coming out. We love talking about it. That's all we ask. And when people post something, and I always used to think, I said, look, when you're about to press enter or click that mouse, I want you to just to stop and read back to yourself. And I want you to read back to yourself in context as if you're on the other side of that statement. Does what you're about to post offend anybody? Offend anything? Is it not to do with gaming? Is what you're about to post relevant to what group you're in? And I would say 9 times out of 10, they don't read it. They come on, they've got green rage, and they fucking type away and then go click. And that's it. And I believe that. I will say, as I mentioned on the Rambler, I've said over many, many years, I don't like Facebook. I've had private friends actually get divorced and bad family things go off purely 100% to do with Facebook. It's a cesspool, in my opinion. I think it's the most god-awful place. It was made with no censorship, no control, and has just basically took over the world and gone fucking stupid. And I just feel that it should have been monitored. It never will. It's got out of hand now, never can be, unless the American government really stamped down on something and put laws in. I doubt it'll ever happen. I don't actually go on Facebook other than look at some posts that you guys get. And I do get notified, or I did do, I've switched them all off. I did get notified of everybody's posts, and I have taken part in a few ones that's been really, really good, really interesting. Does what it's supposed to do. That is the only reason I've got a Facebook account. So really, there's no reason for me other than I could literally go on Facebook now within the next 10 minutes and delete my account off there and be done with the whole thing. And to be honest, Ricky's kind of done that already. He does family Facebook, so he's just left the group because he's had enough of it. And it's like a monthly cycle. We have like 3 weeks of just really nice comments and some great feedback, and there is some great stuff on there. I've read it. I sit and read it a lot. But then it just kicks off again. So it's a vicious circle which just comes back, and it just grinds you down. It really does. And that's why occasionally, like this morning, we both felt we needed to rant and rave. Not rant and rave, I think we put it across really well. And that, it is what it is, guys. And like I say, people don't actually realise, I guess, who's on the other end of it. They just see it as a group and say, look, this is shit, why are you talking? And every time it's defending, what they're arguing about is a piece of plastic. That's the thing I find most flabbergasting. They're actually having an argument or a discussion or attacking people for having an allegiance or a thought that either doesn't agree with theirs or is attacking their way of thinking. It's mind-blowing. Anyway, shall we talk about something else for 5 minutes? To be honest, Matt, and I've said this before, and I said it a few weeks ago, if I was in charge of that group, I mean, Hayden set this when he's done a great job, and to be honest, to be fair, of all the shit that's gone on, he set that up, and he's had shit as well, and everybody's had shit on the show, to be honest. If that was my group, that group would have been closed down probably maybe last year. Definitely at the point when somebody tried to report me. Because I think if that would have been mine, that would have been gone then. I'd have just shut the site down, left one post, and it would have been done. And I'll tell you something that I get most of, and I think again the people that have kind of created this problem this week don't appreciate. I have so many emails a week from people, the community members. Don't forget we've got a subscription base of around 4,000 a week and about 2,000 for the other show. So, and that's the fun thing we make. This 1% of people want us to change it for what they believe. Fuck the other 3,995 or whatever. I want you to have what I want in it, please. And that's one of the hardest things I've been having to do for 10 years on this show. You're having to please 4,000 people on average. Do you know what that actually entails? The same as I actually addressed on the show when I said I listen to shows some week and they haven't got what I want in it. Okay? Do I fucking rant and rave and write to them and go on the groups and say, what the fuck, you're not talking about what I want you to talk about? No. I'll listen next week. Maybe next week they won't talk about it either. But I'll just wait. So it just beggars belief that these kind of things and these groups want us... They want to create something that's apparently supposed to be open, but you want it to change to your way. How's that right? How's that even right? And I've said a million times, if you don't like the show, don't listen to it. There are millions of other podcasts out there I could point you to. You know, if you are an Xbox fanboy, IGN has a dedicated Xbox podcast. Go and listen to Major Nelson. Two of the best Xbox console things you'll ever get to listen to. If you're a PlayStation fan, go and listen to Beyond. Go and listen to, you know, other podcasts. There's just so many to mention. But I sometimes ask myself, actually, do you think... And obviously these get trolls, because I've seen comments on GameSpot and IGN and stuff, and some of them are crazy. But do you think they get personal attacks as bad as we do? It kind of intrigues me to think. I'm guessing they must do. They've got to. I don't know. But I don't know. People just don't get the fact that it's a grind every single day. It's not like I've spoke about what I do, and I get up, have some breakfast, have a shower, sit with my coffee, get my emails and go, because I have to, if I don't regulate my emails every day, my email fucking goes wild. So I like to be on top of it. I'm sifting through like 50 emails a morning, and out of them 50, there'll at least be 2 or 3 that are really bad. But I don't even read them now. What I do, unless they're making a point that I feel I want to reply to, as soon as I start reading it, you get the gist of what they're saying. Like, oh, you're a fucking idiot, or you show shit, or you're fucking crap at what you do. You just know what I just literally delete, gone, see you, bye, done. You've learnt that, how to do it. And I think this is why, like, Ricky has struggled with it at times, because he has mentioned to me privately, it's not what he's done. He's not used to it. He's not used to being attacked in such a way, and he finds it quite, with his family life as well, kind of quite a lot. And I know what it feels like, because I went through it when I first started. But I just wish, guys, and this is the irony of all this shit this week. They've called the thing We Are Gamers. And over the 10 years of my life of doing this, I've kind of proved that myself. I've been accused of 360 fanboy. I've been accused now of being a PlayStation fanboy. No, I'm not. I'm a gamer. And I like to play games to talk about on my weekly podcast. And that's just is what it is. And it all boils down to this allegiance, the feel you have to protect your purchase, what you've got, what you're playing. And I get that. But you don't have to attack other people for not feeling what you're feeling. And that is the entire argument of this entire thing. The whole thing started because certain people wanted me to talk about stuff or addressed, they think I'm very negative towards the Xbox. Well, I've got news for you. Go and listen to all the other podcasts, because they're saying the exact same fucking thing I am. To a word. To a word. All of them. The big ones. Are you going on their site and giving them shit all day? I don't know. I highly doubt it. We must be an easy target, I guess. Anyway, guys, this is probably going to be my last stream for a few days. As I've said, I've talked earlier about, got some really cool stuff coming. Hopefully be doing a couple of unboxings tomorrow, but I am going to be really busy tomorrow. I am changing the room. The thing that I've got coming for the big thing, I don't know if I can even put that on my channel. That might be more of a private thing because it's the way this is going. And I'll try and be a bit more clearer when the dust has settled. It's pretty fucking cool for me, I will add. It's great. But I have got a lot of unboxings coming. Gadgets, gizmos. I've got a really cool smartwatch coming from China. The bastard thing I got screwed custom charges for. That thing looks... In fact, I bought that within 10 seconds of actually seeing a YouTube video of it. You can put a SIM card in it for a phone because it's an ultimate smartwatch. I don't plan on doing that, but you can link it to your phone. But I haven't actually bought it for the aesthetics of using it for the things that it does. I've actually... the actual thing that it is, it's just I'm a massive watch collector. I touched on that at some point. I've got a box back there. It's got about 20 watches. And like I touched on the show today, not fucking, Secondas and all that bollocks. Cheap Chinese things, because they make some cool little... I just love watches. But this one I've got it wasn't cheap. It was a decent one. But the thing on it, wait till you see it. I'm hoping I can get a really good unboxing because I've got a new setup on the way as well, a tripod where I can do proper overhead unboxings, which will hopefully bring it better quality. Because it's always been a bit of a bee in my bonnet, my camera angles and shit, and it annoys me. I try my best, and it is what it is. Alan, the big review you took, there'll be no streaming of it. It's an actual item I'm getting that I have to review for an official place. But I can't talk about it yet. So, and I'm not quite sure if the review I've got to do for it can go on my personal site. Maybe not, I don't know. But I'll probably will mention either on a Rambler more than likely to what it is and how it came about in a week or so, 2 weeks or so, when all the dust has settled and everything's been finalised. No, it's a product. It's a big product that should be here tomorrow, actually. And that's why I've got to shut everything down, because I've got to move shit around and do all my setup. But like I touched on earlier, it's going to enable me. My brother, thankfully, is coming to put TV on the wall. And I'm going to buy some proper cable management things, because I am terrible. When I first moved in here a year ago, it was lovely, it was clean, it was tidy. Now there's all gadgets and fucking wires everywhere. I've not managed it properly. I did a great job at my last married house. I actually finally got my finger out and did a real proper job. I think I posted pictures years ago where we'd got the telly on the wall and I'd got real cool cable management. Finally done what I'd always dreamed of doing. But this time I haven't. But at least when this gets placed on the wall, I'm just going to buy some, cable conduit things and get everything down to the floor and out of the way so it's tidy. But if nothing else, this will give me chance to get all the gadget stuff out of the way, all disconnected, put neat and tidy, and then when I reconnect it, I can make a proper job of it. So hopefully I'll post pictures of it. I will be able to post pictures of how it's going and what it's finally like. I might take one picture actually tomorrow morning before I start and show you the actual nightmare, and then let's see where we are after. So yeah. So I think I am going to put my VR headset on and watch Rogue One for some enjoyment and some chill out for myself. And I've got, like I said, I don't think I'll VR game. I don't quite feel like gaming on it at the minute, but I've got a couple of VR games I've still not tried. Drive? Is it Drive? Date. I always get that mixed up. Date. I've got the VR version of Date on, but I've got a feeling that will make you absolutely fucking like you're in a ocean liner on a stormy night. I think that will make you feel like. So yeah, I think I'm going to watch Rogue One and I'll probably report on it. I should be back streaming. I mean, what day is that? I've lost track of date. It's bank holiday again, isn't it? So it's Thursday night, isn't it now? So Friday tomorrow when I'm getting deliveries. Saturday the actual thing's being done. So Sunday is podcasting. Saturday night, if everything is up and running, I should be able to at least stream for an hour or so, depending on how I feel, depending on how the day's gone. If not, The show will be here Sunday, and then hopefully Monday I'll be back to normal and start streaming some games. Maybe Prey. I am going to try and get to play Prey, the hour demo that's on there. If you don't know, guys, I said earlier, it's on the store now. It's free. It's the first beginning hour of Prey. People keep asking me, am I getting Mario Kart? No, I don't feel that 45 quid at the minute is warranted for a remake. I really don't. Ricky is getting it. I think he's just coming tomorrow. He also mentioned today as well, I don't think we quite touched on it on the Rambler, because I don't like to cover too much gaming on that show. Apparently Nintendo are finally getting off their arse and starting the multiplayer shit. And I think it starts on Friday. Well, I think, did he say Friday, which is today? I don't know, he mentioned it's starting. Obviously has to, because that's what Mario Kart is. And he asked me then, I think he asked me privately this morning as we was chatting, he said, do you know the multiplayer thing's starting on Switch? And I said, no. I said, well, it's about time, they've got to, because Mario Kart. And he said, basically, are you going to get it now? It'll be pretty cool. And I said, listen, no, one, because of the price, and two, I ain't fucking about with the friend code crap again. I cannot believe Nintendo still put that shit into this console. When will they fucking get to grips with where we are? You know, and if they are wanting this console to be... And what makes me laugh, just while we're going on to Nintendo, when you looked at all the videos they made and showed, like, the demographic of the people, like mid-20s to 30s, what looks like it, playing the Switch, are you honestly want them to be friend coding and all that bullshit? They're not 5. So if you're sending it out to a demographic of middle, you know, young, decent age, you want them to fuck about with this friend code shit? Come on. Get with the programme. Hennig, well, I'm away this weekend, so I won't be able to watch. Have a good week. Look forward to Sunday show. Yeah, you know, you'll be perfectly if you're going away, mate. I hope you have a nice time. I hope you're going somewhere really nice. I think it is the last bank holiday of the year, if I'm not mistaken, for you guys. So you hopefully have got some good stuff planned. I will be sat in this flat, sadly, as fucking always. I tell a lie. My daughter, I touched on it, and I don't think I finished the story. I actually asked her if she'd come and give me a hand, because everything's two-man lift, and I've got a really bad back at the minute, as you guys know. So she's coming to help me tomorrow. I'll actually probably have no TV tomorrow night to watch either. I've got to feel like losing my friggin' arms. So she's coming, but at the end of the call, which I thought was really nice of her, she asked me, do you want to come to the pictures on Saturday? Yep, I am. I'm going to the cinema Saturday night to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Which I feel a bit of a lemon. It's a boyfriend in here as well, but it's nice for me to get out, actually. I haven't been out in quite a while. So, yeah, and I'm seeing my favourite film that I want to see at the minute, too. So, it's pretty cool. She also passed her theory driving test this week, she let me know, which I'm really proud of as well, because she was upset last year. She tried the theory test last year and failed by, I think, 1 point, I think, how it's done. So she's really pleased about that, and she's starting to learn to drive again, so that's pretty cool. And she's loving her job, her first ever job. She's really clever. I'm really proud, actually. I was a bit disappointed when she moved on. She didn't take it. She wanted to be a doctor and a surgeon, and she was clever enough. She just kind of lost track a bit. I think it was, and I don't like saying this is a bit shit, maybe my breakup and stuff kind of affected her in a way, because my breakup was awful. Even though she lived with her mum, I'm obviously a dad, and she was concerned. I always used to get the messages that Amber's really concerned if I'm alright. I'll always be alright, fucking hell. I'll survive whatever. So yeah, I'm really proud of what she's done. She's got a really nice job. She's even got her own flat, which is fantastic. So that's one good thing in my life anyway, and that's the only thing I look at back on my shitstorm of a life. So yeah, I'm getting a bit depressing now. So I think it's turn off time. I hope you enjoyed this Edith. What happened to Edith Finch? I quite liked it. Beautiful ending. Great little game. And I will be back. I hopefully will get time to play Prey demo tomorrow. I have forgot to mention, don't know when I'm going to get time to cover this, and you have to answer if you are interested. I've been sent the review code this morning for Sniper Elite 3, is it? Is that the latest one that's come out? I've got that. So I could stream that next week. But I hate doing shooters on stream because you're forever, you know, it's twitchy, you know what I mean? And I like to chat, you know I do. So if you guys have got any suggestions, by the way, please drop in the comments on YouTube. You know, if you want me to cover a specific game, let me know. Email me, crankytoz@gmail.com. Twitter, @tozall, if you want to drop me there. Or like I say, leave a comment below. And if you want me to cover any specific games on the stream, I will try my best to get it. I'm really enjoying this stream. It'd be nice if I'd got a lot more people in it, but that's up to you guys, I guess. It's word of mouth, isn't it? Pass it on to your mates and what have you. Same as anything. But I am going to stop, guys, because I want to drink. I'm very warm in here, and I think I'm going to get even warmer by sticking the bloody headset of the PSVR on and watch. Oh, I'll tell you what, though, I've got my new headphones to try as well, so I'll give them a blast. Anyway, I'm going to say good night, guys. Thanks for coming at this late time. I hope you've enjoyed me yakking as always. I don't know what you find exciting about me yakking, but you obviously do, and I thank you for it greatly. Your support's been really good. So until, hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes all right in the next few days, I should be back streaming maybe Saturday night, if not Monday. The show will be around, as always, on Sunday night around midnight UK time. Until then, boys, I'm off to watch a bit of movie. So, thanks again. Bye, guys.